Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. On today's program, we're going to be talking about art, specifically the Suffolk Art Gallery and the Suffolk Art League, and the variety of classes, exhibitions, activities, events, and things that are going to be going on, including the exhibit that you see on display behind me for the Winterim, which is free and open to the public. We're going to have all the details when we return. Welcome back to On the Scene. Of course, we're coming to you again from the Suffolk Art Gallery, joined now by Art Gallery Curator Nancy Kinzinger. Nancy, thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you.
And we're going to talk about a very unique exhibit that's currently on display. It's called the Winterim, and it features the photography of Glenn McClure. Now, I'm going to kind of let you take it from there. Tell us a little bit about who Glenn is, and then let's get into kind of what people can experience and take part in when they come out to the Art Gallery to see what's on exhibit right now.
Glenn is based out of Norfolk, Virginia, and is a lifelong photographer. And I'd say probably about 5 years ago started a series of photographs. He spent some time traveling in the state, doing photographs of people. The Virginia Museum of Fine Arts has exhibited some of his work, and he's been involved with them. And it really is he travels quite a bit, Ireland to his roots, but his fascination recently has been, within the last 5 years or so, has been with people. And so he started traveling to state fairs. He went to State Fair, he went to Floyd, he went to the local carnival. And he and I started having a conversation about a year ago about him coming to Peanut Fest and doing some photography out there. So the plan was that he was going to be stationed in our tent, which is at one of the entrances. And as I told you earlier, one of the things that we like doing at Peanut Fest is people watching, when we're not busy doing hands-on things with kids and adults and everything else. So he and I started talking about it, and that was the plan. However, as we know, Peanut Fest didn't work this year. There was too much rain. So the alternative was that Glenn decided that he would come out to the farmer's market. So he came out to the farmer's market in November and did some photographs of people that were vendors, people that were visiting, that sort of thing. And basically what we've come up with is, I think, 22 photographs that are really very interesting. This is titled Faces of Suffolk, and it's a diverse group of people that cover vendors and people that are visiting the market, locals, people that are passing through. But it's really a wonderful exhibit. And Glenn is really a internationally recognized photographer. And I think the fact that he's come to Suffolk and done this, I think is really a great thing. He does things, he started out doing them on his front steps of his studio in Norfolk. You know, he went out on the street and started taking pictures of folks. But this is, these are all Suffolkians, and I think that you will find that there are people that you recognize in here that look very familiar. And if you go to the farmer's market, it'll be kind of like, okay, I bought squash from that person or whatever. There's some favorites. There's a woman actually who does classes here in the building, and she is in she's one of the subjects. Mr. Noriega, who is a longtime vendor at the farmer's market and a favorite of us all. He's in the exhibit, and there's just a lot of things here. So it's really an interesting. It's interesting if you're a Suffolkian. It's interesting if you're not a Suffolkian.
I mean, you look and just my observation, and spending a little time walking around before we started the interview, you look into the faces and the eyes, I think really tell you a story, and everybody has a pleasant look on their face, and it's interesting. You have the little story, so you know who they are and kind of their background, so you really get a chance to see, and I guess it really tells you the diversity and the mix of people that participate in events and are here in the city of Suffolk. Because it depends on where you go, and you see, you encounter this person or that person, and you mentioned some of the people as far as that are featured in here that you've come in contact with, but obviously there's probably other people that you haven't.
Of course.
But you kind of get to meet them in a roundabout way.
You do. And he's known for his portraits. I mean, his portraits, they're wonderful portraits, even if you recognize the person or not. They're really very interesting, and it speaks to the diversity of Suffolk, I think.
Indeed. Now, of course, I mean, certainly when you see things in black and white, people think, well, that's old. We don't, but it really brings out, I think, really the subject matter more so than you're focused and not on the color and all this other stuff. You really get a chance to really see the person as they are, and I think that's an interesting pitch on that. Well, color is difficult, and I think it's sometimes, you're right, I think it really does color the way that we look at people and look at things. So I think this really sort of knocks everything to a very level plateau, and there are
things that I think you see in black and white that you just totally miss in color.
That's right.
Photographs, totally.
Your focus, I think, shifts a little
Exactly,
bit.
it does.
Yeah.
It does. And portraiture is wonderful in black and white,
Right.
and these are really wonderful portraits.
Now, the exhibit is going to be on display until when?
We will be on display until the 25th of January.
Okay.
On the 25th of January, we actually will have a closing reception
Okay.
for this. Plus, we also have an event, which is our Fine Craft Expo. The Fine Craft Expo is from 10 to 4.
Okay.
We have a closing reception for this that'll start, I think, it'll be from 2 to 4 that afternoon.
Right.
But we always have a lot of people for that, but
Sure.
it will give you a chance to meet the artist because Glenn will be here.
Very nice.
And plus you get to see around 25, 26 artisans in their work
Right.
in the area. So it'll be really interesting.
Now, of course, I assume both events are free and open to the public.
They
is that
are
correct?
both free
As
and
the
open to the
exhibit
public.
is itself,
Exactly.
right? Right.
We will be, we're open every day except for Mondays. However, we will be closed over the Martin Luther King
And the Lee Jackson
and
weekend,
Lee Jackson
that
will be
4-day
closed.
weekend, right?
Exactly,
Right.
we'll be closed that 4-day weekend. But we are here every other day from 10 to 5.
Okay.
And we do welcome, we welcome everybody.
Sure.
That sort of thing. And if
Right.
you've got a group that you want to bring, not a problem. Give us a ring at 514-7284. But it really is, it's definitely worth seeing.
Indeed. Now, I know sometimes when you have exhibits, you have things that are for sale. Now, are these?
Actually, they are for sale,
are, okay.
but we sort of are, we're thinking that no one's going to want, anyone that has a portrait's not going to want a 3x5 of themselves. However, that's something that we sort of run through Glenn. If
I
anyone's
understand.
interested in a copy of it,
Yes.
he handles it.
Okay, good deal.
He
Now,
handles it.
what type of papers are these photos printed on? Because I believe I saw a sign when we came in noting that, but tell us a little bit about that.
They are all printed on acid-free paper, and basically that means that they will last into perpetuity.
Okay.
And Glenn does do some of the printing himself. The small
Right.
things he prints, the larger pieces he does not print himself, but he oversees the entire printing
Got it,
process.
okay. Now, has he ever had an exhibit here before?
No, he hasn't.
Okay.
He has participated in exhibits here, and really, we do not do one-person shows per se.
Right, right.
The winner of the Suffolk Art League's juried show gets a one-person show.
Yes.
So it's really sort of unusual for us. However, Winterim is something that we started about 5 years ago. It's a little 3-week time period.
Right.
And we frequently feature work that we wouldn't have the opportunity to feature
Correct.
otherwise. Last year, I believe we did work from Suffolk's Photo Walk during this time period. And since there was such a strong Suffolk tie, we felt very justified in doing
Sure.
this. And as I said, Glenn is really an internationally known photographer, and his portraits of Virginians have become very important. Like I said, the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts has recognized him, and they have some of his pieces in their collection, and he does a lot of work with them. So we felt that it was significant enough that
Sure.
it was okay to do a one-person show, and that it really wasn't, we weren't breaching anything that we didn't want to breach.
I understand, yeah. Well, of course, I guess, and that's the unique thing. We have such a talented photographer here to be able to feature the work, as you said. And again, the way it's displayed, and y'all always do a great job as far as organizing everything.
Thank you.
Now, did he have input, or was that all staff here?
No, that was pretty much, he selected the photographs. He sort of sent me a thumbprints of some of these
Sure.
and said, oh, do you like these, and that
Right,
sort of thing.
right.
But that's really we really he made that selection.
Right, right.
And, it's, as far as these spaces go, we spend more time here than we do at home. People frequently, artists are concerned because they're like, well, how are you going to hang it? It's like,
Right.
we live here. This
Right.
is our space, and
Exactly.
we can install anything here. So actually, Debbie Hill, the museum assistant, arranged this.
Very
So,
nice. Did a great job.
she did do a great job. She did do a great job. So
Well, again, Winterim, come out and check that out here at the Suffolk Art Gallery. Now, I believe we also want to talk a little bit about some classes
Yes,
that
we
people can
do.
take part in. If
We
you can
do.
kind of go through what's being offered and how someone can go about signing up for those.
okay, that sounds good. And I'm
Okay.
going to have to look at my cheat sheet.
That's fine. You go ahead.
We are actually doing a variety of classes. We're doing a crochet class in February, a landscape painting class with a Virginia Museum of Fine Art instructor in February. We're doing a textile class also in March with a Virginia Museum of Fine Arts person. And we are doing a variety of wire and metal jewelry classes.
Right.
Sandy Lupton, who's local, is going to be doing that in March. Plus, we're doing a variety of classes with precious metal clay. And if artists have never worked with that is
Right.
not a difficult medium, but it's a really interesting medium. So we're really doing a big variety of things for people that have have experience,
Right.
but also people that don't have experience
Sure.
that want to get their feet wet and just try things. We tend to do one-day classes, so you come in, do your project,
Right.
and go away with a finished product,
Sure.
which I think is very satisfying
Indeed,
for
you,
people.
like I said, you walk away with
Exactly,
something other
walk
than the
away with
experience
something.
itself and the education and the things that you've
Exactly,
learned. So,
exactly.
yeah.
But we have a booklet that's available,
Okay.
which is here at the museum, plus the libraries have them, and we've distributed them around a little bit. But also, you can give us a call, again,
Okay.
at 514-7284 if you're interested in any information on classes, speakers, et cetera.
Now, when you talk about the classes, do you need to have the materials for that? Are they provided, or does it kind of depend upon what type of class it is?
Normally, in the classes that the Suffolk Art Gallery
Yes.
sponsors, all materials are provided.
Okay.
Which makes it, again, easy because you come in.
Right.
If it's something you've never done before, everything's there. You can try it. If you like it, you can invest the money in it later on. The Virginia Museum of Fine Art classes are really well known
Right.
for being just stop in, work with an artist who the
Right.
Virginia Museum basically is paying to come to our facility and teach. And those are really high-quality professional artists
Right.
from throughout the state that come in and do our classes. So those are really, they're really very special classes.
Indeed.
Most of our classes fill up pretty early, so we really tell people that if you're interested, call us,
Yes.
get your name on the
Right.
list, and go ahead and start that process. And again, we have textile, we have metal and jewelry classes, painting, landscaping, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of things that are going
A lot
on.
of things to pique someone's interest. Like you said, if you've done that before, you haven't, which I think might be the real hook there.
Sure.
Get a chance to experience something. As you said, you walk in, you take the class, you go through the process, you learn, you experience, and then you leave with an item that you've created, which is a unique opportunity in
Sure,
today's world that
sure.
we have a lot of time on the computer, but now you actually get to
That's right.
get the hands in there. Now, one thing we haven't mentioned, location. Where are we located with the Suffolk Art Gallery?
We're at 118 Bosley Avenue in the Lakeside neighborhood
Okay.
off of West Washington Street. This is the old library building.
Right.
As you know, many people will remember us as the old library, but
Right.
we're off of West Washington in
Okay.
downtown Suffolk.
And of course, if you're on West Washington, there's signage right there that indicates on Bosley
Yes.
where you need to make that turn. So
Yes.
again, just look for the kind of brown colored sign, I believe,
Yes.
with white print. So you can't miss that. So
That's right.
All right. Well, Nancy, thank you for spending time with us today.
Thank you for coming.
And of course, we encourage everyone to come out and take part and view the Winterim exhibit on display right now at the Suffolk Art Gallery. We'll have more on the scene when we return. Welcome back to On the Scene, joined now by Linda Bunch, who's the Executive Director of the Suffolk Art League. Linda, thanks for being with us.
Oh, delighted to be here.
And of
Thank
course,
you.
this is a unique facility and all the things that are going on that I don't think a lot of people realize what actually happens here at the Suffolk Art Gallery, and the fact that with the Suffolk Art League and all the things that y'all put on. If you could just tell us a little bit about, let's talk about classes, because again, there's the things that are always taking place here. And again, the benefit is if you are a Suffolk Art League member, you get a little bit of a discount as far as on that the registration fee. That's right.
That is correct. We do give our members a discount, and
Right.
we offer classes for students. We start them at age 3. We like to get them off to a good start.
Indeed.
So we have a young artist class. The first next one for them will be February the 11th. And all the information about our classes is on our website,
Right.
suffolkartleague.org. But we do start them at 3, like I said, with the young artist. We also have classes for older children. We have an art exploration class that starts on January 22nd. Alicia Johnson, who's a high school art teacher here in Suffolk, is
Right.
the instructor for that, and she always has just the most fabulous projects. Each week is self-contained, so if for some reason you might have to miss a week,
Right.
that's not a problem.
Right.
So that class runs for 6 weeks. And like I said, all the details are on the website if
Gotcha.
people want to get more information.
Okay.
We also do classes for adults. We have quilting classes, pastel classes, and in March we actually have an evening class, Thursday evening class, for adults, actually for students age 14 through adults
Okay.
who want to do painting. So we have watercolor and acrylic. Barbara West, who was a former art teacher here in Suffolk, will be teaching that class.
Right.
So we have just the greatest variety, like I say, quilting, and then all the classes that Nancy talked about.
Yes.
And there is sort of an interesting arrangement here where the Art League is a community nonprofit, but we are based here at the gallery. So
Right.
for the Art League classes, we do offer a discount to our members.
Correct.
And that's usually, about a 10 or 15% discount. So
Sure.
if you want to join, that
Right.
information
Right.
is also on
The
our website.
That's right.
So we always welcome everyone as a member. Not only does it give you the discount, but it does support a lot of our programs
Right.
in the community, which we do classes in the schools.
Sure.
We do have all-day workshops in the high schools, half-day workshops in the middle schools,
Mm-hmm.
and also do programs with the elementary school
Right.
students. So membership also helps support that as well.
So as they say, membership has its privileges.
That's-
So that's
that's
one
right.
of those that comes along with that, right?
There you go.
All right.
We like to help them out all we can. So we do have, a lot of things coming up. Check out our website or just give us a call.
Okay.
925-0448, and we'll be glad to tell you what we have coming up.
Great. And of course, I guess you also can probably just stop by the Suffolk Art Gallery as well, because a lot of brochures and things to kind of
Anytime,
experience.
we do try to keep some printed material with
Right.
both the Art League and the Art Gallery classes, so
Mm-hmm.
people can come by and pick that up. They want to take it home and look at their calendars and
Right.
decide what they'd like to come join us and take.
Now, of course, we talked about the classes, but there's also exhibitions and events and things that y'all put on. I know February is going to be kind of a little bit of a busy month, and you start out with an exhibition of excellence. Am I right on the title?
The Exhibit of Excellence.
Exhibit of Excellence. Sorry about that.
It's Suffolk Student Art.
Mm-hmm.
We do this once a year. It's supported by a grant from the Suffolk Fine Arts Commission and lasts the whole month of February, open on the 4th, run through the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
And students who are in the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade are eligible to enter 2 pieces of artwork. It is a juried show, which means that not everything that's entered will actually
Right.
go on exhibit.
Right.
Heather Bryant, who's an instructor at Old Dominion University, works in their foundations program, which is the first year art that if you're in the art program at Old Dominion, you're forced to go through. So she teaches in that as well as lectures on printmaking. Got her Master of Fine Arts from the Norfolk State Old Dominion Joint Visual Arts Program and has stayed in the area and now teaches at Old Dominion. So she'll be our juror.
Okay.
And like I say, any student who's in the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade who either live in or attend school in
Right.
Suffolk, so if you attend one of the private schools, or it's also open to homeschool
right,
students. So
right,
any
right.
student who is in grade 10, 11, and 12 is eligible to enter. All the high schools have the information. There's
Sure.
a prospectus that we have gotten out to all of them. It's also available here at the gallery, or if you want to give me a call, I can email it to you,
Okay.
mail it to you, whatever. So any student, and it's no cost.
Right.
There's not an entry fee or anything like that. There are some requirements for presentations,
Sure.
so all of that is laid out in the prospectus. But it's always one of our most popular shows.
Right.
We have a lot of people who come to the gallery every year in February because they know that's when the Exhibit of Excellence
Exactly.
is up. And I am always so very impressed with the talent of our high school students. Some of them could compete in our adult jury show. I think,
Right.
there really is just some incredibly wonderful work. And it's nice to be able to showcase the student work, to really show the public what
Right.
great things they are doing.
Well, and then they get the experience of having their work on exhibit, obviously assuming the juror agrees with the work and has
Right.
it on display.
Yeah.
But about how many pieces, or I should say, art exhibits typically wind up here during that exhibit when it's on display?
We usually will have around 100, maybe 120 pieces that are accepted.
Accepted, right.
For the Exhibit of Excellence, which makes it a really big show, which is fun too, because you really do see a variety. And of course, you'll see some work that is more obviously a class project type thing. You
Right.
might see several pieces that sort of follow the same
Sure.
theme or something like that. But a lot of it is work that's done independently now with the advanced studies and all, not only in history and science, they
Right.
now have advanced placement in art, so a
Right.
lot of them are independently done pieces, so they don't necessarily fall into that class project
Sure.
kind of look about them.
Right, but that's a unique part of the exhibit because you don't know what you're going to find, right?
Exactly,
I mean, if you're looking for a
exactly.
certain type of genre, it probably will be covered somehow, some way.
Somehow
Right.
it will be here.
Right.
And our art teachers are also very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the ones who really get behind their students.
Sure.
So you got to finish those 2
Right.
pieces, and we
Right.
got to get them matted,
Right.
and we got to get them in on time. So we really appreciate all the hard work that they do to support the exhibit, and of course the support from the Fine Arts Commission. This year we're real pleased to have, in addition to our first, second, and third and honorable mention awards, we have 2 special awards this year. One to honor Dana Adams, who was one of the folks on the Art League board who started this exhibit oh so many years ago. The first ones actually were held at Birdsong Recreation Center long before the Suffolk Art Gallery existed.
Sure.
And then they moved to Riddick's Folly for a while and various other places before the gallery opened. So we're honoring Dana with an award.
Very nice.
And also we have an award in memory of Sharon Pico, who was the founder of our Chip Pico Scholarship.
Right.
Look, I can't find it. Chip Pico Scholarship, which is for students in grades 6 through 12, which the applications for that are also now available if anybody's interested in our student scholarship. And again, that is not a college scholarship.
Right.
It is for students in grades 6 through 12.
Very nice.
So we have those 2 special awards this year, which is kind of fun.
Very nice. We'll look forward to that, of course, when that exhibit comes up. Now, coming up in a little bit later in February, you have an antique show and sale. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I would like to tell you a little something about that. This is the Suffolk Art League's primary fundraiser. It will be held February 22nd and 23rd at Kings Fork Middle School on Kings Fork Road. We will have 39 antique dealers who will come in and set up their antique shop in the gymnasium of Kings Fork Middle School. Like I say, this is our own only major fundraiser, so this really helps with a lot of particularly the educational program and the scholarship program and that kind of thing that we do. So it's really vital that it's successful.
Sure.
This year we have just a great group of dealers coming in, along with some folks. Our crystal repair gentleman is coming back from Norfolk, Mr. Simmons. So if you have that chip goblet that you're afraid somebody's going to cut their lip or something, he'll grind it down for you so you can still use it, and when the table is set, you never know the difference. So he'll be back. We also have a lady who does frame restoration. So if the gold gilt on your frame has gotten a little place that have come off or need a little repair, she does that. We also have a clock repair person. A lot of people have that beautiful mantel clock that doesn't work anymore, but you don't want to take it off the mantel. Mr. Worrell from Southampton County will be here to do clock repair. So we have those. We will have silver, jewelry, linens, crystal, glass, china, pretty much you name it, it will be there. And it's always just a really fun event. A lot of people make it a social event. We do serve food. We do our own concession. Which this year, most of that will be coming from Rodman's here in Suffolk. So we
look forward to there.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with Rodman's, we will have their Brunswick stew and barbecue.
Very nice.
So you can come, look, have lunch, look some more, hopefully buy something. And we also will be raffling off a painting by John Taylor, who's a very well-known artist here in Suffolk. So he will be creating a painting for us that will be raffled off for a $2 chance. You can win a John Taylor painting.
You can't beat that.
So, so that will be a really fun event. Again, it's February 22nd, 23rd, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday it's 10 to 5, Sunday from 12 to 5. And there is an admission of $5. So, and we do have postcards, and there also will be newspaper print ads. If you keep a lookout for those, they'll get you $1 off the cost to come in. So keep a lookout for those.
We'll do. Well, Linda, I'm certainly, all the great things that the Suffolk Art League as far as producing throughout the year. Again, the classes, the exhibits, and even in the antique show as well. I know it's a fundraiser, but it's a great opportunity. That's as good a commercial as you can do right there for the event itself. But the fact that it is, you can have, some social time, you have great food on site as well, and the chance with the vendors, but also, again, the repair people that are be coming in. That's a unique part of it that I was actually unaware of as far as, but again, that makes it where you really can get a lot of bang for your buck, so to speak, by attending, right?
So if you have your ad or your postcard for $4, you can come in and do it all and have a big day, visit with your friends, shop. And it's always fun when I'm walking around the show, people say, oh, I have one of those. Oh, I didn't know that was worth it. It's almost as good as the road show, Gosh, I have one of those.
Now, again, you said Saturday from 10 to 5 and Sunday from 12 to 5. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Good deal. And let's give that website one more time and also the phone number in case they'd like more information on any of the events or activities we've talked about with the Suffolk Art League.
Our website is just suffolkartleague.org, and the phone number is 757-925-0448. So give us a call. We'll be glad to give you what information we have.
Good deal. Well, Linda, thank you for spending time with us today on the Scene. We appreciate it.
Well, we always are delighted to be with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for watching this edition of On the Scene. We'll see you next time.